Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast Live. As y'all can see, I am not alone. I got a full house. I got a crew with me here today, so nobody
squad
act stupid. Nah. As you can see, my main man G, he's here with us tonight. Welcome back, G. And got Bryant transformed there in the upper right corner. And
what's good, brother?
Chilling. And in the lower right, we got Big Red, host of the Last Rewind podcast. If you remember, he was with us maybe 2 Saturday nights ago. What's up, Big Red?
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you having me back on, man.
No doubt, man. No doubt. How all y'all fellas doing tonight, man?
Swell,
good now because I'm out of the heat now. I'm back in the AC.
I hear that.
Hey, that's real.
Can't hear you, G. What you got, man?
I think I got about until 10 or 11 o'clock before I get like thunder showers and I need to move in and cover. But today was a good day, man. I got up, poured a cup of coffee, and then I turned on, watching the coffee, turned on the Format Podcast and catching up with my news, right? Normalizing stuff like that, man, because this is authentic and it comes directly from sources of guys of intelligence. I'll say that, man.
Hey, man,
Big Red, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man, but I'm going to give you some advice. I would stay outside as hot as it is. If it's going to have rain and thunderstorms, I'd be outside and do the podcast if I were you, because it's hot.
That ain't going to happen, bro.
You hear that fire truck? It's so hot, they got to call the fire people to put it
I'm in Baltimore City, man. I'm sorry, I'm in Baltimore City, right? I don't know where you guys are. I know you in Jacksonville, Bruce. But,
yes, sir. So you know it's
outside. Same place.
What up, Sneed? Was good, bro. Good to see you, brother.
North Carolina out here. Humid and muggy.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody out here burning up in this. Everyone burning up.
It felt like a stank mouth out here in North Carolina. That's what it feels like.
I sweat about 5 pounds off today in that heat, man. It was nuts.
Yeah, no doubt. So before we get started on this first topic, well, before we even do all that, y'all know what time it is, man. Anybody watching, you know what it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't wait. All right. Make sure y'all do that, man. Make sure y'all are hitting that like and that subscribe button in YouTube if you haven't already. All right, cool. So, real quick, did anybody catch what Caitlin Clark did today?
She had a pretty good stat line from far as what I saw.
More history, bro. So, man, this WNBA thing, this Rookie of the Year race is going to be down to the wire. She's the first player in WNBA history with 29 points, 13 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 threes, 5 steals, and 3 blocks in one game. Crazy.
3 blocks.
Yeah. That's the same thing.
So that was the same response I had. Same response. I'm like, Caitlin Clark?
How many turnovers did she have?
Nah, I didn't check that part of
17.
She might have triple double.
Probably. She a quadruple double with turnovers. No, but I mean, you can see like she's getting more and more comfortable. Like the learning curve is shrinking for her as opposed to when she first entered the league. And I know, G, hold on, I'm getting to it, bro. We actually talked about this right before you got on. How it's my opinion that as long as they keep playing this way, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese really need to be co-rookie of the year.
I've said that.
Yeah,
they need to make them Jason Kidd and Grant Hill, because I think both of them, it wouldn't be undeserved if either one of them won, or if they did it that way, because both of them are out here consistently making history as rookie players. So you do that, it's even better for the marketing, and it's even better for the rivalry that they're building. So I think it would be fantastic for the league, especially have them standing up there, both of them holding the trophy or whatever. And then, later you give them their own or whatever. But I think it would be perfect if they did co-rookie of the years. What's your thoughts on that, fellas?
I agree. I've been saying that for like the last 2 weeks, based on that Jason Kidd Grant Hill year. I said they're going to end up doing co-rookies of the year, and as far as marketability, them having a big rival, that's the best decision for the league. Is to give it to both of them. And
absolutely, man. When you got both of them putting up numbers that haven't been done in WNBA this far, like they're only rookies. You know what I mean? Randall Reese with the double thing. You know what I mean? Caitlin Parton, what she just did tonight. You know what I mean? And still airing it out from 30. You know, in 3 blocks. That's impressive. Especially when you talk about Caitlin Clark, who's not known as a defender at all. So no, that's huge, man. And like I said in a previous podcast we had before, the dramatics of it. You know what I mean? The rivalry of it. Like it just makes sense. Now I feel like you can't go wrong with being like, hey, these are our rookies of the year. You know what I mean? So they definitely deserve it.
G, go ahead, make your case for Angel Reese. I know where you're going, bro.
I'm going 100% Angel Reese, but I think to agree with everyone else, I think they both are starting to play off of each other's, right? That rivalry in the league and the WNBA is definitely bringing in seats, and they can see that. But now you're starting to see them starting to elevate each other's game. We saw Angel drop 25 and 16 against her, right? Like shook her cage so much so that now she's starting to put them numbers up now. And so I'm curious to see how Angel is going to respond to her stat line, right?
Yeah. She takes things personally, doesn't she? Like you can see it.
Oh, absolutely.
But I like that though. Because
I don't think it's going to be a I think it's going to be somebody going to feel like they get robbed. They're getting robbed, and what that's going to do is put more viewership on the WNBA.
That's a great point.
But yeah, man, I'm still rocking with Angel Reese. I'm just curious to see how she responds to that, that 29, right? So
she might come out with a 2020 or something like that. You know? Yeah. She beast. She a beast, and I love it though. I love it. Like we said, man, it's good for the WNBA. It's good for basketball, and to see that, I think it's just beautiful, and it's exactly what the league wants to market. And I don't care, who feels a way about it. I think it's perfect, and I don't think the league itself could have scripted this thing any better than how it's going.
Oh, true that. I mean, the viewership shows it. The viewership definitely shows it. You know what I mean?
That's
I mean, they quadrupling their numbers from last year. Come on now, it only makes sense, man.
Yeah. All right.
So only had 5 turnovers too. By the way, I just saw that.
That's crazy when you say somebody only had 5 turnovers, right?
America's Apple turnover. America's Apple turnover.
You killing me, G. It's like warm apple pie. Oh my goodness. What Sneed saying here? A co-rookie of the year designation would connect them for their entire career. It's huge marketing. Commercials, playoff games, daily sports talk material. I love it. That's an outstanding point. Good stuff, Sneed. As always.
WNBA Magic Bird. Magic Bird.
Right. And Angel Reese is not, obviously she's not as skilled as Magic was, but the potential for that rivalry is perfect. It works.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I think the WNBA is obviously loving that. Our first topic, we got a little sidetracked, but that was a good little distraction, a good little piece to discuss. We're talking about, we have what could be a very different NBA next season, and obviously the Boston Celtics won their championship this year, number 18 in history, and so now everybody in the East is like gearing up and working, to put themselves in best position to beat them. The Celtics are going to have a hell of a time trying to repeat. To the Transformers point, we talked about this the other night. Even as a diehard, lifelong Celtics fan, I'm not sure that they can pull that off if everybody in the East is healthy, because we got some serious lineups. So let's give a quick rundown, and let's start with some of the big moves. And obviously, number one, we're not going to delve into the whole thing, but we talked about it last time. Paul George to the Sixers. I think that's huge. G, you weren't here. Big Red, you weren't here. So let's start with you guys. Your thoughts on Paul George to the Sixers, what that could mean in the East, what that could mean in the NBA playoff race, what that could mean to the Celtics. Thoughts?
Potentially, I would say they could be a top 3 team in the East. But realistically,
Embiid
is going to be hurt.
Yep.
if I just want to be honest, he's going to be hurt. Unless
so
he drops 30 pounds. And let's not forget, he's playing on Team USA, so he's not taking the summer off.
Oh,
so
boy.
He's putting more damage on those knees.
I didn't even think about that.
That osteoarthritis is going to kick in early next season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him going through the whole season. I don't see him getting the 65 games, which I think is the minimum. If he's trying to get MVP, I don't see him going far in the playoffs. Paul George is kind of injury prone too. Yeah. So I don't see that. He's getting a year older.
Right.
His skills are declining. He's not the same defender as he was. He's still a dynamic player. But who's their coach for the Sixers?
Nick Nurse.
Nick Nurse. Okay. Nick Nurse, he might put them in a good position. I was thinking Doc Rivers. I forgot he went to the Bucks.
Yep.
I was thinking he might put them in a good position to win based off the other players under them. But it's all going to depend on availability. That's what's going to make them make it to the top three of the Eastern Conference. But I still do not think they can win a championship. I think they're going to disappear because Embiid, even when he is healthy, he disappears in the playoffs.
Well, that's been the knock on him, but I will say, what did he average? 35 and 10 in the playoffs this year. Now he went out in the first round, so it's kind of like, eh.
I give him a little bit of a pass because he did have whatever he was going on with his face.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
I give him that pass.
Yeah. G, where you on Paul George and Philly, and what type of effect you think that'll have?
First thing first, you need to take Kobe number off. That's first thing first before we get started.
That's real.
Yeah. Hey, man, he's trying to pay homage, G. He's trying to pay homage. He said,
no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Nah,
you got to do that after you win.
Yeah,
who has his number?
Win, right? Like you have to do that after you win. I think low
Paul George has that number.
Yeah, he changed to number 8. He said he wanted to pay homage to Kobe as his idol.
I'm not mad at that, right? But however, I think you win first and then you resurrect Kobe, right? Like, but load management is going to be at an all-time high with the 76ers. So if you are a ticket holder, just trust and believe when you show up. One of those two stars, right? Or one of them is not going to play, right? For most of the season. And so I think they get started. It's the East, so it may be an easier route. People tend to get hurt in the East, and they can, kind of crawl into the playoffs, or you got teams crawling into the playoffs, and it becomes one of those things where the healthiest team is going to win, right? And so
that's what I think too.
That's what it was last year.
Yeah. Well, I think the Celtics were still the best team in the East, and they got a favorable matchup in the finals. But I do think, to your point, I know that, and every team has a little bit of luck in winning a championship, but as much as I don't want to admit it, those Celtics, they had the best record all year, but they didn't look to me like some dominant team like that just like an all-time great title team that's just going to steamroll through. And to your point, Transformer, I got to admit it, they got a lot of breaks, literally, in terms of other teams being broken,
Yeah, like I said, like the teams that we thought they were going to give them the biggest threat, Milwaukee, Philly, both gone. You know what I mean? Giannis goes down. That's one of the greatest players in the Eastern Conference in the NBA. Embiid goes down, one of the greatest, the reigning MVP. You know what I mean? Right. So if you don't have those test matchups, and you're walking through what's left, you know what I mean? So at that point, that's why I'm like, I'm real iffy on that. Like they were talking about a repeat already. Like whoa.
Now you got to prove it.
Now you got to prove it. You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
Knicks got better. You know what I mean? Philly got better. Like I said, Tobias Harris turned Super Saiyan and Paul George. You know what I mean? So, you definitely got, stiffer competition. So it's going to be a challenge. They can get through this one. I'll tip it.
I got you. And being 100% honest and being objective, you're absolutely right. And think about it. You didn't even mention the fact that they got Indiana, who earned their way to the conference finals, but then they lost their big gun in Tyrese Halliburton. He went down. So it's like Celtics got a major break in every round going through. But the flip could also be that now that they broke through, they know what it takes, and now they could mentally be in a position where they could, because a lot of times, what do you hear? Like a team knows how to win now. You know what I'm saying? Whoa.
Yeah, I really think what's going to happen is you're going to see a lot of load management across the
Diddy.
a lot of load management across the East, man. Like,
yeah, you will.
Yeah, because teams realize, when it came down to it, they wasn't healthy, and now they got to protect those assets, those superstars, as much as possible, man. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know when it happened that these players who today are supposed to be the most finely conditioned athletes we've ever seen in the NBA can't get through a season. Like, I don't know what it is that happened or how it happened or when it happened. It's weird to me, man. But it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I'm not gonna beat that drum. Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned one of y'all mentioned the Knicks, and Knicks re-signed OG Anunoby. They lost Hartenstein, but then they get Mikal Bridges.
Yep.
So they got like the entire Villanova championship core on that team.
All of them.
One thing you know is those guys are grinders. They're tough. They're going to defend, and they know each other extremely well. They got team chemistry already from winning 2 chips together in college. I don't think I've ever seen something like that happen in the NBA before. Have you? I don't think I
can't recall it. I can't recall it at all. Like you have 4 of the championship, five of the championship.
Is it 5 now?
I think it's 5. So you got Josh Hart,
right?
You got
DiVincenzo,
Jalen Brunson, you got Mikal Bridges,
right?
Is it one more?
No, I thought it was just the 4.
Okay, it's just the 4 then. I mean, then, you know what I mean? 4. Yeah,
right. 4 key components of a championship college roster. I've never seen this happen before.
It's college nepotism. That's what it is.
Nepotism. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, that's bugged out. But now you see a team that is they're probably not as good, but like defensively and offensively, they're I guess kind of mirroring the Celtics in terms of having the 3-and-D guys and the wing defenders and all of that, and being able to switch everything and not lose anything and not get caught in difficult matchups. I guess unless they line up against a team that has legitimate bigs, and there's not really too many of those left in the modern NBA. So it's probably what the NBA wants to see and what a lot of teams are trying to build, and it is specifically clearly made to match up with the Celtics, and that should be good when they play each other.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be box office for sure. Definitely gonna be box office.
The key to this is what's Julius Randle going to do this year? Is Julius Randle going to return to where he was when he first got to the Knicks, when he got traded from the Lakers? Or is it we going to see the steady decline that we see each year where his offensive numbers ain't worth the crap that he pisses in a bucket?
I think you're going to see him on the trade block.
I think he probably should.
I think that's the reality of it. You're definitely going to see him on the trade block.
Yeah, I am curious to see how he's going to be able to fit back in there, and if mentally he's going to be able to put himself in a place where he doesn't come back and say, I was the man before I went down. If he can, step back in and say, okay, let me find my place, let me contribute to winning, and let's try to win this chip. Because I guarantee you, I don't think it's going to happen, but let's just say, for the sake of discussion, that the New York Knicks win the championship. Every one of those guys is a made man forever in the NBA and in New York City.
For life, B.
For life,
B.
Right. Exactly. They're going to be walking around like money making Mitch. You know what I'm saying? Getting love.
Boy. You would have thought they the first team to get 19 chips. Facts. That's how crazy they're going to act.
Oh, it would be insane. Because what's it been? 73 was the last one for the Knicks. That's 50 years.
Ooh, wow, 50 years?
Mm-hmm. 50 years, yep. So if they could pull that off, it's going to be serious. Your thoughts on the way the Knicks constructed this team, and how do you think that they match up well against the Celtics? And if they were to play them, let's say both teams healthy, we always take health for granted in these discussions, but let's just say that. What are your thoughts about the matchup there?
I think we have to assume that the Knicks will be healthy next year, especially considering they have a really good coach. Chemistry is there, right? That's something that we haven't seen before, and so I look forward to see how these guys kind of gel together on an NBA level. Julius Randle coming in, hopefully comes in healthy, and he's the dog that he used to be, right? That we know him as, and as far as the Tatum and the Mr. Brown tandem, I think that's going to be one to watch for. But it's too early to say that the Celtics are going to repeat, right? Like that's almost impossible to do. Both of those guys got paid, so they're gonna get fat. They got a chip, and so I don't know if that considering the odds of you doing a back to back or a repeat is slim to none, right? It's just hard to see. I don't know what Tatum going to do, man. He's still a choke artist in my book.
He came up big in that game 5,
He's
man.
a choke artist in my book, man. So teams are tooled up, man. They tooled up, man. They ready. And so it's going to be interesting to watch East basketball.
Yeah, it is.
And
it hasn't been that way for a while.
Can't put the Knicks there either, man. I really with that even with those moves, I can't put the Knicks in like the Eastern Conference Final because the East still. I mean, Dame was hurt last year, right? Towards the end.
Dame was hurt. Giannis was hurt.
Yeah, Giannis was hurt. That's two key superstars. Those are superstars. They aren't stars, right?
Right.
What's his name? Paul George. He's a star. We don't know if that titanium leg is going to hold up for 82 games and then push him in the final. So I mean, it's just those key matchups though. Like if Tatum stay in the gym, stay hungry, right? He got that generational wealth contract.
Yeah.
And a lot of times teams get fat, they get married, and they sit one out. They sit one out. So they get fat and happy, and they sit one out, man. So it'll be interesting to see how things gel.
I think the plus is in terms of Tatum specifically. I do agree with you that a lot of times dudes win one, and it's a lot easier for them to your point, sit back, get fat and happy. But if you really want to be like truly special playing in that organization, just like it is with the Lakers, you got to do it again, right? It's like who won one, and Kobe was like, "Okay, you think you're special? Do it again." You know what I'm saying? It's like in those organizations, one is not enough, huh?
Was it Giannis? I think it was Giannis.
I think it was.
I think it was Giannis.
I think it was. And Kobe was like, "Okay."
I want to say I think he put because it made it seasonal homework.
I think so.
Kobe kept giving him a goal at the beginning of the season,
That's right.
like, "Hey, I want you to go get MVP. I want you to go win a championship, win another one." I think it was Giannis. I want to say it was Giannis.
That sounds about right. So the point is, in those organizations like that, okay, you have to win one to be considered to be considered in that echelon of greatness in those championships. But then it's like, okay, all right, you won one. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go get it again. So we'll see. There will be some pressure, coming from the top with the C's, but we'll see if they can get it done. And right now, to all of y'all's point, it looks very difficult. You got something, Big Red?
With the Knicks, though, the Knicks to me, they'll be fool's gold. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Tom Thibodeau. Look at every team he has been in. Now he gets his players to play harder than probably any coach there is in the league.
That's right.
But that's also to the detriment of the team because he wears them out. He shortens his rotation when the playoffs come. And you saw it this year.
Yeah.
Game 7 with the Pacers and the Knicks. Them boys was tired. Brunson wore off, got injured. It happens with every team that Thibodeau goes to. The teams wear out towards the end. They were second in the NBA in the Eastern Conference last year. It's hard to believe.
Yeah,
they played great together, but he always shortens the rotation. He keeps his starters on the floor damn near the entire game. Yeah. And by the time the playoffs get here, they get wore out either in the second or the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think it's going to happen again this year because that's his coaching style. He's hard-nosed defense. Offense is not a lot of variety in the offense. Since Jalen Brunson go to work, play quarterback, and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be fool's gold. He's going to have a great record next year. He might be top 3 or 4 next year, maybe even number 2. Who knows? But by the time the playoffs get here, they're going to be wore out.
I don't think he knows any other way to coach. And I'm not sure he's ever had a roster that was truly deep enough that he didn't have to coach that way. So I don't know.
Closest thing he had was the Celtics, and he wasn't the coach then, but it was Doc Rivers' team.
Right. Popovich did the same thing, all his championship runs and all that.
Not that short of a rotation. No.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad. And remember, realistically, Pop is the guy who is responsible for load management as it is in the modern NBA. He started it. As much as I want to blame it on the players, Pop was the one who started that. So,
Yeah, and Thibodeau is not resting his players Any point you gonna play until your feet fall off.
Right. What did Josh Hart play like 3 games in a row, 48 minutes in the playoffs? They worked him like a dog out there. It was crazy. So that's a great point, Big Red. I definitely feel you on that. It's gonna be
at the same time, I think it was Mike MJ, right? Who, even if when they lost, they would play till July the 1st, right? To go the entire, like if they didn't make the playoffs, they would still play. He was like one of the first players to change how these players look at the game, as far as ensuring that the endurance is there and conditioning is there.
Right.
So to Thibodeau's point, you have to work your players, right? Or when it comes playoff time, they won't have that steam, they won't have that bounce, and they won't be able to compete on high levels deep in the playoffs. And so I think one part of it is there has to be some type of load management. Josh playing 44 minutes a game is crazy work, but they also need to have that as well, right? Like, you are a professional athlete, you get paid to play basketball, and you should be able to play the entirety of the game if you get
if needed, if necessary.
Yeah.
Right. But it shouldn't be necessary every game, to y'all's point. So I get that.
You train to be able to play those games when you need it, but not everything. And you can't be Ivan Drago every game.
Right. Yardley, appreciate the super chat, my brother. Thank you so much, man. Let's see. Bronny James playing a little better, but man, he's not aggressive. Yeah, we'll get to that. I actually have the game on my other monitor here, so I just
see me. I'm tuned in.
Yeah, that's why you see me looking off to the side.
Panning over.
Bronny got no dog in him. What's up, Maximus? That is correct. Listen, anybody in the chat, if you're new here, this is your first time, I definitely appreciate y'all being here. Thanks so much for stopping in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Appreciate that. It's going to help the show grow. It's going to help the show spread. We're on a hot streak right now, so let's keep it going, y'all. Bronny, we are going to get to Bronny in the next topic, I promise you. As you can see on the rundown, Bronny James saga, we are going to discuss it. We are going to discuss more of the clown show that is the Los Angeles Lakers.
Relax.
Hey, man, listen,
I'm right here, man.
This is not even me taking a shot at the Lakers. This is just sad, like what, and hear me on this. This is sad. Yeah. What a phenomenal what was once a phenomenal organization is currently looking like. And we talked about it. I truly hope that it gets back to being what it once was, because that's better for basketball. But we'll get there. All right, cool. So we talked a little bit about the East and some great things that happened there. So let's talk a little bit. Let's go to the West and a few big moves there. So we had, speaking of the East and going West, Demarr DeRozan, who was formerly a Chicago Bull, and we know he's from Compton, right? I believe he's from Compton. And so obviously he grew up a Laker fan, obviously wanted to be a Laker. So me and Transform was talking about this earlier in the week. I was under the impression he was a free agent, but it was a sign and trade that sent him to the Kings. But the question is, with the power that these players have today, you don't think that if he wanted to be in LA, that wouldn't have happened? They wouldn't have worked that out? Think about it. If you're from Compton, you grew up loving the Lakers, and he's young, so he didn't grow up loving Magic in the Lakers. He grew up loving Kobe in the Lakers. All respect due. Shaq and Kobe and them. I get it. So now you have the opportunity to try and play for them or play for the Kings. What's it going to be? Something isn't right there.
Like I was telling you before, telling you the other day, the money had to make sense. All right? The money had to make sense. If you go look at the contract that he got when he just signed with the Kings, who gonna pay him that?
Well, it's only what, 3 years, 74 mil, so it's not big money. I remember
who has that amount of money in LA. We don't even have 18 mil to give to anybody right now. LeBron would have had to take a massive pay cut. D'Lo opted in, so we can't use him as a part of, that money that fell off. So like I was saying, like the money just didn't make sense. We was in conversation back and forth with Demarr. I'm saying we because but we was in conversation back and forth, but that money just couldn't make sense. We couldn't hit home on the dollar amount. You know what I mean? I truly believe Demarr, he's worth what he's getting paid. So I think it was more on that line of like, man, I want to be in LA, but I also want to get paid. I'm not trying to get paid no mid-level exception. I'm not trying to get paid no $15 million a year because they're still trying to figure it out. We couldn't offer him money that we didn't have. You know what I mean? So I think that played a lot into it, man. I'm pretty sure we would have welcomed him there. I'm pretty sure if the money was there, Demarr would have been there, but the money just wasn't.
Yeah, and I believe one of the big keys, it's hard to take less in California with that 14% state income tax. Yeah, so you got that. So it's not even like, okay, this is where I want to be, so I'm willing to take a haircut. So I kind of get that. Big Red, what are your thoughts on not even just so DeMar DeRozan didn't get there. Paul George obviously didn't get there. Klay Thompson didn't get there. But none of these guys even like attempted to try and make it work. I get what Transform is saying with the money, but none of these guys even attempted to make it work. And these are all West Coast guys. Is there something going on why they don't want to play or didn't even attempt to try and make something work with the team they all grew up loving?
Easy, because they loved them because they were about winning championships. And they no longer in the winning championship game. Like I told you on the other podcast, the Lakers are now the Dallas Cowboys. It's all about entertainment now.
That's a fact.
You know, I don't even think LeBron.
Time out.
Oh yeah.
No, we're not. We're not finna go there. When last time Dallas won?
Huh?
When last time Dallas won?
Oh, they won 1995. I'm talking about right now, currently. I'm not talking about the last 3 years. We're talking about right now, currently.
All right, pick a different team. Pick a different team.
No, I'm picking Dallas. That's what we're going
Dallas
with.
Dallas been doing that for 30 years.
But you're right. We've done it longer, better. Yeah, you're right.
An analogy in terms of
y'all catching up. I could go with
we just won a championship 4 years ago. 4 years ago.
I know. Here's what I said. I said the Dallas Cowboys have done it better, longer, not in a good way. I'm saying in a bad way. We've done it in a bad way, in a good way for so long. Y'all have won championships over that time since, the 2000s, whatever. I'm saying currently, right now, y'all are in the entertainment business. Y'all are now you can't say that y'all are trying to win championships, because that's why nobody wants to go there. What's the other reason why none of these players in the last few years, and LeBron has to make a tweet talking about, is it me? Yeah, it's you.
Oh, he did?
He said that last year. I think it was 2 years ago or last year.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yes, it's you.
2 years ago.
Yes, Bron, it's you. Yes, it is. But okay, so we have G, I didn't even get your thoughts, man. Where are you on this? And I guess that's all part of the whole Bronny James thing, but I do find it interesting that such a legendary organization as the Celtics. There we go. You're right, Sneed. You're right. But it is interesting that such a legendary organization has fallen on what it's fallen on, and it's sad.
And let me add one more point. They don't want to be to blame for why they lose every year, too. These upcoming years. They don't want to be to blame, like the coach is to blame, the players is to blame. It's never the single supposed to be GOAT on their team or in the NBA's history. It's always everybody else, and they don't want to be a part of that narrative.
I think as fans, right, we only see one side of the sport, right? We see what the end product that they put on the court. We don't see that, we don't know that, the Lakers won't be able to compete deep in the playoffs in the next 4 or 5 years, right? We can't see that based off of what team is in place. But you have a coach that never coached the game before, and so you put him in those crucial moments, he's probably going to choke 9 times out of 10. But then you look at like DeRozan, like he's a seasoned player. He don't have years to kind of window away and play under that, pretty Madonna and or that what they call it. It's just the sinking. The team is going to sink, man. Like everybody knows that the product that they put on the floor is not a championship team. And so if I'm DeRozan, I'm looking at, all right, well, I'm 10 years in the league, 10, 15 years in the league, and I want to win now. I want to go where I can get my 30 shots a game. I want to go someplace where, there's excuse my language, there's a bigger dick on the court than I am. You know what I mean? Like I am a superstar, and I want to be advertised as such. I don't want to be the sidekick to LeBron.
That's right.
He about to be the sidekick to Darren Fox.
Debatable, bro. That's debatable.
He's going to be the sidekick.
That's debatable, bro.
That's Fox's team.
That's debatable, bro. You bring a DeRozan, DeRozan in your huddle, bro. Like that's a bucket. That's a clutch bucket.
I'm just saying, what has DeRozan done to automatically come in and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm taking over.
He's a superior mid-range player, bro. Like superior mid-range player.
I got to agree with him. Aaron Fox is the guy. I think DeRozan.
No, brother.
So let me say this: a big piece of him also not fitting with the Lakers. If we're fair, LeBron has to have certain kind of players around him, and DeMar DeRozan is not going to be a guy who's sitting out there shooting the three, waiting on kickouts. Yeah. DeMar DeRozan is a slasher. DeMar DeRozan, to your point, G, is a superior, outstanding mid-range shooter. Mike Miller, we definitely going to get to that next topic, bro. I hear you, man. We're going to get to that shortly. Yeah, he's that's the type of player he is, and that does not fit with LeBron. And so that's probably another reason that he didn't end up there, even if they could make the money work. So there's that. And of course, he doesn't want to be the damn scapegoat like everybody else. So,
Klay Thompson, I guess, would have worked out good with him being a spot-up shooter.
Klay Thompson would have been perfect. He would have been perfect. But, I think he said he didn't want to be in the fishbowl of LA after coming out of the fishbowl of Golden State, which I thought was telling. But
Rosen is a lot more consistent than Klay is. Klay has been. Yeah, he's a lot more consistent. Yeah. So
DeRozan's what, 35?
Yeah, Klay was a place where he can sit in the backs. He can sit in the back. He can take the back seat on some games, and then he has those breakout games where he just cooked. But a lot of times, he's just a streaky player. He's a streaky player, but he's a vet too as well. And so that was something that they need towards the end. We saw that in the finals where they didn't have that other veteran player who was seasoned enough to be able to carry the team
and make shots when other guys are struggling. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So before we move off of the Kings, how do you guys think the addition of DeRozan is going to help the Kings in terms of moving forward? Obviously, Domantas Sabonis, he's an all-NBA type player. De'Aaron Fox is an outstanding guy. Only reason he's not an all-star is because it's so hard to make all-star in the West at guard, but he's an outstanding player. Obviously, they're well coached with Mike Brown. What are you guys' thoughts on how DeMar DeRozan is going to help the Kings and what that does for them going forward this year?
It's so hard to predict, man, because the Western Conference is just packed, man.
It is.
I won't be shocked if they're like the 6th seed. Let me just say that. I won't be shocked because the top from 1 to 4. I mean that's pretty much sold up. You know what I mean? So that 5, 6. All right, now you can talk about getting into that spot. But you got Denver, you got Dallas,
you got Minnesota.
You still got Phoenix out there. You know what I mean? Yet they had a horrible year last year, but Phoenix is still there. You know what I mean? So
coach,
yeah, you got KD, you got Bradley Beal, and
next topic, my man. We're gonna discuss it.
Oh, he going in, but he won't let nobody relax. With me, bro. He won't let nobody relax. But like I said, I'm not shocked if I see him at the 5 or 6 seed. Wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. Hey, transform. It looked like Dominique had my man sit in, huh?
Sometimes you got to let the trolls be what they are, bro.
Oh my goodness.
I mean? So
Malik Monk, that's going to be a big thing next year when he comes back from his injury. He got hurt last year. That would have helped out a big deal in the playoffs. I think he's going to be a year better. And of course, like I said, DeMar DeRozan, they could be anywhere between, I think, 4th and 6th seed.
Right.
It's so hard to predict. I can't even predict who's going to be the best team next year in the West, just because of how packed it is. I got to wait for the rest of the trades to go through.
Yeah, because still Mark, they still trying to put Laurie Marketing. They might get him. That could shift it again. Now we're looking at who's fighting for 7 and 8. You know what I mean? So.
Based on how the regular season was last year, nobody thought the Mavs was going to go to the finals.
No,
I like that, Maximus. That was good. That was pretty simple. Nice. Well done.
Good pun, but they ain't got no titles. So
well done, man. Well done.
Yeah, good pun.
No, but all right, so next up, we touched on it, was the big move, Klay going to Dallas, which I think was huge. And again, he spurned the king, which I loved a great deal. He could have got more money in LA, and he said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna head down here to Texas, and I'm gonna play there." Which realistically, I don't know if that was necessarily even the better move, because Luka plays like a younger LeBron, really. So we'll see. I guess he got a better vibe. But you know what? I think he probably has more confidence in the coaching situation in Dallas than he does.
I would definitely agree there. I would definitely agree there.
Yeah. Anybody thoughts on what's this guy? Klay Thompson heading down to Dallas?
I mean, I think it's a good trade for him. He's going to be good on the team. I just wonder, are they going to change the format of how Luka plays next year? Is he going to be the main point guard next year, where he's going to, I think, wear himself? I think he got wore out last year too. He played through it, granted, and he didn't make no excuses. But I think he got wore out last year. Why do you have Kyrie and you're the main point guard on the team? I think they need a point guard.
Because you can't play without the ball.
To change the dynamic of that team, I think
because Luka cannot play without the basketball. He
has to have the ball.
He's smart enough to be able to do that, I think.
He is, but when you've been playing a certain way for so long, it's very difficult for you to do that. Quick note here. I see got a bunch of people in the chat. Thanks so much for stopping in. I see some new faces and new names here, so I appreciate y'all. Do me a favor, please go ahead and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you hit that share button too. Let other people that want to hear sports talk and want to hear it from a different angle and not just kicking the same old stuff you hear on ESPN and FS1. Let them know. Let them come on in and check out the show with you. All right,
absolutely. We need more Bronny Sucks in the chat, not just one person. We need more Bronny Sucks. We need more of those. Come on, keep them coming, baby. Keep them coming.
So, Maximus, you said something interesting here. Luka will always be the point, and I think I get that because that's just how he has to play. But Mel from Man Down Sports, shout out to Man Down Sports, great show. If you want to check that out another time as well. One of the things he said, and I was really, I hadn't even thought about it. He was here last week. One of the things that he said was, how can you play a position if you can't defend that position? And that's something that I had never heard before. So he's like, Luka can't be the point. He can't defend point guards. And I was like, that's fair.
Did Magic Johnson do that?
He did. He did. Now,
obviously, point guards.
Yeah, he did, because you used to see him matched up against Dennis Johnson. You saw him matched up against Isaiah Thomas. Yeah. Now
he switched up quite a bit though with Michael Cooper.
Well, the physics of it made things more difficult, but when you're playing the Celtics, he has to defend Dennis Johnson. Why? Because Michael Cooper is going to be on Bird. You know what I'm saying? Michael Cooper was primarily on the best wing scorer of the opposing team. So Magic oftentimes had to deal with the point guard. And we got to remember, back then, point guards weren't scoring like point guards score now. So it was less of a difficult thing. Okay. They were more floor generals, right? So it was a little less strain on Magic in terms of trying to defend that. Right, so he's in the West. He's defending John Stockton and these guys. So it wasn't like now he's not trying to D up what's an example, a John Morant or one of these, or Jalen. We were just talking about him from the Knicks.
Brunson.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson or something like that. Yeah. So it was different. So Magic could do that back then.
But the real question is, can he defend anybody?
Who, Luka?
Yeah, let alone.
No, they call him Mr. Blowout for a reason.
Not really. But he
Mr. Blowout.
He did try in game 4. He tried in game 4.
Those guys didn't get better on defense with Klay. Adding Klay didn't make them a better defensive team.
That's true.
They just fed into the offensive aspect, which is the NBA today, right? It's all offense. And so, they find themselves in the same situation, except if Klay can fill some of those offensive holes that they, when Luka wasn't going and Kyrie wasn't going, and instead of having somebody so adding him, they was able to add another player who could knock down the three and extend the floor. Now you can't really clog the perimeter because you have to play everybody straight up now, and in order to double team, that 4, that 5 need to come up. So it changes their 5 guard sets if that's something that they want to do, or that 4 guards and 1 big man in the hole. And I think, that's my last point. I don't really have another point. I think they find themselves, deep in the playoffs, but only this time they're able to knock down that 3 a little more consistent than they were when Luka and Kyrie could go. Now you have that kick out option, and it's a higher 3-point percentage that you add to that team. Defensive wise, I think they're still in the same place, and if they had to play the Celtics again, we will probably still see the same outcome.
I agree with that.
I agree.
With that being said, if they go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go good.
I was about to say, with that being said, and I agree with you what you're saying, they're going to have to change their defensive veracity next year if they ever want to, win the big thing. That's going to take more energy out of Luka, and he's already got what the highest usage rate in NBA history, right above Jordan.
I believe so.
And the thing is, when people mention Jordan's high usage rate, he played within the offense. He scored a lot, but he played within the offense. He wasn't always on ball. He wasn't the point guard all the time. He wasn't
bringing the ball up the court.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Luka is bringing the ball up, going somebody playing him full court, sometime defending him. Mm-hmm. He got to find somebody else that can take the ball up, and then he can get set in the offense once the point guard gets down to the other half court. He's got to rest at some point because he played some heavy minutes towards the finals too.
So what I was thinking, and I don't know if it was you I discussed this with or with the Transformer, maybe Klay is going to bring some of the offensive sets, the ball and body movement stuff that they use to such a great extent in Golden State, and bring that with him and sit down with Jason Kidd and Luka and Kyrie and talk this through and say, hey, these are some things that we can integrate into our offense to take some of the pressure off of Luka and to, free guys up more for better shots, right? Because the Splash Brothers, they weren't just Splash Brothers by virtue of just, pulling up from 30 all the time, which of course they could. Because think about it, Steve Kerr, what he was doing was what? He was using aspects of the triangle that he got from Phil Jackson, and he was using aspects of the motion offense that they were running in San Antonio with Coach Pop.
A lot of motion.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So he's putting all that together and utilizing it to do what? Create what beautiful basketball, like Kevin Durant said, right? Mm-hmm. And so he's gonna, I would assume, if he's smart, he's gonna try, and he probably already talked to Jason Kidd about it, bringing some of those elements of Golden State's offense and trying to incorporate what they can into it. Now the key is Luka Doncic going to be willing to accepting coming off the ball more and moving more, right?
He's going to have to.
It just occurred to me, if you got the ball all the time, you can control your energy expenditure. If you're playing without the ball, that means you have to move. That means you have to cut. You have to screen and do all these things, and all that takes more energy as well. So if they're incorporating more of that, that means that you have to play in a way so as to you have to train in a way so as to be in better condition for all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have confidence he's going to do that this offseason?
No, I don't.
He already out of the Olympics now, right? So
yeah. He's not playing in the Olympics. Giannis
checking back a few beers now.
Probably, right? And Michael Finley ain't there to take it out his hand.
Oh, was that Michael? I was wondering who that was. That took it.
That
was Mike. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That was that day. That clip is
like,
funny.
you ain't won yet, man. Get that beer.
My man was in the hallway celebrating, boy.
Chilling, right?
Nothing.
Yeah. All right.
He was so distraught after he knocked that beer out of his hand. Like, damn, man. Right. He's carrying it back to the 80s, when they were drinking
like
at
he had to
halftime.
go pay for another one. Come on, man. He was sending somebody to go bring that. Or knowing Luka, he probably had a 6-pack in the locker. All right. So we talked about Klay Thompson moving on from Golden State. So the Splash Brothers are no more. However,
that's tough,
they did what they could. I know, right? It's crazy. They did what they could in terms of, well, you can never replace Klay, but they brought in another guy who is another, what do we want to call him? A hired gun, a guy who can let that thing go. So they got Buddy Hield added to the mix, and that is a guy that knows how to move without the ball. That is a guy who knows how to shoot it. What are you guys' thoughts on Buddy Hield being Klay Thompson light in Golden State? Obviously, he's not a defender, but what are your thoughts?
I mean, you just pretty much took it away when you said Klay Thompson light. That's literally what he is. He's
right. And I'm sure Steve Kerr's going to tell him, don't try to be Klay, just be you. But, they want him in that Klay Thompson role.
Buddy Hield's going to average 7 attempts a game from 3. He's going to have to air that thing out because the focal point is still going to be on Steph Curry. All right. On the defensive side, he doesn't play defense like that.
Bro.
You know what I mean? So I think he's going to have to fill in that, hey, okay, the Splash Brothers are going, but we could be Splash Cousins.
Right.
This
right.
is Splash Cousins.
Yeah.
And let that thing air out. You know what I mean? So I definitely see him averaging 7 a game. But you hit it without even knowing it. He's Klay Thompson light. That's pretty much what he is.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a pretty good pickup. He's not what he was a few years ago when I think the Lakers were trying to pick him up. He averaged what I think
they could have had him. They could have had him, but the GM said, "Nah, I'll try to stack the deck and grab another top 75."
That wasn't on the GM of LeBron.
Who did they pick over?
That was on the GM. That's what I said. The GM.
That was Rob.
Who they end up picking up over him?
You know good and damn well. You know good and damn well that wasn't on no Rob Pelinka.
That was on Rob.
Why you always caping up for your boy, man?
That was on Rob. Hey, no, I give LeBron. I am still mad about Russell Westbrook, LeBron James. Do you want me to say that?
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm still mad about Russell Westbrook.
That's what
LeBron
I'm talking
James.
about. Because remember, it was supposed to be Buddy Hield, and then LeBron said, "Nah, I want Westbrook. I want another top 75 guy, so I could try to grease the skids to another chip the easy way." And then when it didn't work out, he acted like he had nothing to do with it. And then in his passive-aggressive way in the media, he started, taking these shots and had everybody in the world taking shots at Westbrook. You know good and damn well that's what happened. Stop it.
I took shots at Westbrook the moment we got him.
Yeah, because your guy.
It was if I'm looking at something to talk about LeBron James in a negative way in his entire career, that was one of the dumbest moves, dumbest decisions he could have ever made. Ever made. Because I'm like, what was Westbrook supposed to do in that role? He's not a shooter. He's not a defender.
Oh my God.
He's ball dominant, but he's not athletic as he was anymore. What was supposed to be his role? It didn't make sense at all. Buddy Hield was everything right. that was needed in that position.
Right.
Shoot. That's it. That's all I needed to do. Shoot.
Yeah, but you could have had that, and your guy put the kibosh on that. So I'm not letting that go. No. I'm like Bumpy Knuckles right now. I'm like a pit with a leg in his mouth. I bring it home.
I'll take it.
You know what I'm saying? You got to. You can't argue that. You cannot argue that. All right.
Hopefully, Buddy Hield is going to be healthy this year too. I mean, he wasn't healthy the last couple of years.
No,
I think he was healthy. They just didn't play him like that in Philly.
No,
yeah, I think
he was healthy in the playoffs.
Let's see how many minutes he got. And I think you're right because I totally forgot that he was in Philly until I was researching.
Until he got traded. That's what I found out. I think he played like the last game of the playoffs. I think he played like the last game.
Say again.
So he started 14 games last year.
Yeah, looks like.
But he only played 32.
He averaged 12 a game last year. Damn. That's tough.
That's what's so weird. I
don't know what that's about.
That one was weird, man.
Okay, so I guess it was injuries. He only played 32, but I wonder how much of that is injuries and how much of that is like DNPs.
Or he slept with the GM's wife or something. I mean, who knows?
Oh, I hope not. 3 years ago, he was averaging 17 a game, so we know he can do it. Yeah. And I think we know that he's going to get his opportunities in Golden State. So we're going to see what that is.
You know what? We're not. We're not adding in. He was with the Pacers too. That's why you're looking at it.
Okay. Oh wow. So he played 52 games. So he played 84 games last year.
You're right.
Games with the Pacers.
You're right.
32 games with the Sixers. Okay.
That's why. So he wasn't hurt.
He didn't miss a game.
There was never an injury. He just he got a lot of DNPs towards the end of the season.
So but look at this though. He averaged what? About 26 minutes a game and averaged 12 points. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was that a point every 2 minutes roughly?
Shot 38% from three.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
not bad.
I don't get it, man. I really don't.
And I tell you what, he's going to get plenty of space and plenty of open looks playing in that Golden State offense. So, again, nobody's expecting him to be Klay Thompson or reincarnation of the Splash Brothers, but I think it's a good fit for a guy with his specific skill set. They're going to need to find a way to probably cover him on defense, but we'll see what they do.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's see. Any other big moves y'all want to discuss? Or let's go ahead and open up the phone.
I think you pretty much hit them all. The major ones, that is. The major ones, that is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I said, Laurie Marketing is still on the market. So
that's right. I forgot about that. I'm
still waiting to see if Golden State can seal that deal, because that would definitely change him and put him back in contention at least.
Ooh, Laurie Marketing, another sniper. Wow.
Yeah.
Size 2. Oh, that'd be
What do y'all think is going to end up happening with Brandon Ingram?
That's interesting. We forgot the Pelicans. The Pelicans, didn't they pick up somebody recently last week?
Not sure. I don't remember.
From Atlanta. What's it? DeJounte Murray.
Oh, they sure did.
Yes,
DeJounte
Murray.
Great call.
Yes,
great
I forgot about that one. That was another one.
Last name. What's up, last name? You're also new. I haven't seen you here before. Make sure you go ahead and click that like and that subscribe and on Facebook, YouTube on the channel. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping.
Like it on both. Like it on both.
There you
share
go.
It on both.
Yeah. Like it on both. Yeah, share it. Lori going to Golden State. That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
That would be good, lad.
And another sniper.
And Zach LaVine too. He still got to find a home. I don't think the Bulls are going to keep him.
I don't think anybody wants to pay him.
The Bulls are flying. Nobody wants it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants it.
He's making a lot of money and putting up numbers, but he's not a difference maker at all.
And he's injury prone.
Man down. Appreciate you, last name. That's what's up. You're supposed to be talking about these two that make them lost the game. A courageous one. Explain that in the chat for me. Not really following that comment.
About these two that make them lost the game.
Yeah, they got Murray for a can of pop. Yeah, I thought that was strange. DeJounte Murray and what's my man name? Trae Young. That was a really good backcourt in Atlanta. Obviously, it wasn't a winning backcourt, but it was a very good backcourt. Not sure why that didn't work out better, but we'll see. Bulls will pay a team to take him. That's okay. DeJounte Murray and that's not a bad fit at all. But I think the Pelicans are so up in the air, man. They have good coaching, but who knows what they're gonna end up doing because obviously they paid Zion, but Zion, I think we know, doesn't really want to be there. He's just trying to rehabilitate his image with everything that went on over the last couple of years.
He's trying to reheat his food.
He was having that fun off the court.
Yes, he was.
He's not trying to rehabilitate. He's trying to reheat his food. That's what he's trying to do.
Oh my God! Well, look, what did he play? 70-something games last year, I think. So
did he play that many?
He was in better shape, I believe. I believe he did. Let's see.
He also was a player for 72 of those games with other women too.
Oh, here you go.
70. Well, he played 70. Yeah,
there you go. So and he had a solid year. But look at that: 23 points and 6 rebounds. That's what pisses me off. You are a physical specimen like that who does not want to rebound. What is wrong with you? If I was his coach, I guess in the modern NBA you can't even go hard like that. But I would be kicking his butt.
But that's what they have length, though. You have Valanciunas, you had Ingram. I mean, you have a lot of length over there that can get you rebounds.
No. There's no reason Zion should not be on the glass more. I can't rep for that. I'm sorry. No rebounds, no ring. I come from the
7 rebounds at the most, I think.
Yeah, he's never been that type of player.
But there's no reason that he shouldn't be with the gifts that he has and the body that he has. There's no reason he shouldn't be. Right?
Yeah, he's Oliver Miller with hops.
I think the man can touch the top of the back.
Anything like him. Look at what Barkley was doing, right? Barkley was way better than him, but they will tell you that we've never seen anything like Zion. Why Zion can't say, you know what, I want to model my game after Charles Barkley? Why he can't do that? You tell me. No reason Zion shouldn't be a 24-12 guy, especially in a league where there are so many rebounds to be had. No reason whatsoever. I can't see it.
But like to Big Red's point, you're worried about something off the court. Charles Barkley was a head knows, hey, I'm in the paint, I'm working on my game. You know what I mean? Like, real cutthroat type of attitude. Zion is not that type of guy. He's not the one that's I'm trying to bang with y'all. Nah, but if I'm gonna jump over y'all and get this block, that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? So
could be
different type of personality.
Yeah. You remember what Rocky Trainer said? He said, do not sleep with Adrian because women weaken legs.
He did say that.
Yeah.
When you got scores of women coming after you, you got no legs. Yeah. I also kind of think too, which is probably the same issue somewhat with Anthony Davis. He played a good amount of games this year. I give him credit for that.
Yeah, he played 70.
He doesn't want to play center because he doesn't want to bang with the big bodies, which is a detriment to his body. Same thing with Embiid. Embiid, likes to take a lot of outside shots because he doesn't want to bang with the big boys and get hurt a lot. And I think Zion probably is falling in the same trail because he is injury prone. He doesn't want to deal all the time down low. He'll score down there, but he doesn't want to get the rebounds because he's trying to preserve his body.
But when you look at a guy like Embiid, he even though he doesn't play down there enough, he's still, for this era, a dominant rebounder. There's not many legitimate bigs, and nobody can defend this dude when he gets on the block. So I don't understand like why. Man, if I'm Embiid, I am destroying this league on the block. I will be leading the league in and ones. I'll be killing everybody because nobody in the modern NBA can defend this dude. Yeah. He's a killer.
And he also be averaging 20 games a season because his boy gonna be hurt all the time.
Or that.
Averaging 20 games a season.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, let's do this before we move on to the Bronny James topic and the Lakers. I know everybody wants to talk about that, but let's open up the phone lines real quick. You see the number there on the bottom, 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Go ahead, give us a call if you have any thoughts on the movement in the NBA by some of these big name players and what you think of how the league is going to look next year. And also, if you Mike Miller been waiting for this Bronny James topic. But anyway, also if there's any movement that you think is going to be key in terms of changing the NBA next season that we didn't mention, go ahead, give us a call. 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Let's get it. Maximus, you're exactly right, and that's the same thing that Big Red and Transformer were saying. Embiid wants to he would kill it down low, but he don't want to bang because he gets hurt too much.
He's a pretty decent shooter. I mean, he's a pretty good shooter. I mean, I don't blame him.
He is, but
shoot the rock at 7 foot. I mean,
all that's great, but guess what? If nobody can defend me on the block, I'm getting that. I'm scoring there. I'm banging on your head, or I'm hitting you with all them. What's the point of him learning all them Olajuwon type post moves if he don't want to spend the time down there to utilize them, right? So I could be getting those if I'm Embiid and getting a ton of and ones, right?
I mean, he does get the free throw line a lot.
He does, but he could get there more.
Last year before he got hurt.
Yeah, but you know why? Because he's always falling down, flopping everywhere.
That too.
That's another problem.
He does do that a lot.
Yeah, Nino, what's good?
Nino, what's good?
Thank you for the super chat, my G. Salute to all LBJ haters. Nino, this is how you coming in? You coming in tired. Just wait.
Just wait. Jack.
199. All right.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Nino came in with the heat. What is that? Oh my goodness. Slow-mo to the Warriors is a game changer. Slow-mo, are we talking about Buddy Hield or are we talking about possibility of Lauri Markkanen and Maximus? Let me know.
And do they call him slow-mo? Because that's the first time I ever heard of
it. Yeah. Who are you referring to when you say slow-mo to the Warriors? Man, Nino came guns blazing. He came for us, bro. But that's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Hold on. I gotta
Kyle Anderson. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Kyle Anderson. That makes sense. I get the pun now. But I was like, man, who the hell is slow-mo?
Right. All right, so I guess it's time to go ahead and get to it, man, because we're not getting any calls on this NBA topic. So
I'm gonna look that up. No, he said it's his nickname. So I'm gonna look into that. Go ahead, proceed. I'm handling.
I got you.